Dear scholars, Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon, welcome in the class. We are studying these days democracy. I mean, democracy assistance, democracy promotion. In fact, this discussion is based on my PhD thesis, and the topic of my thesis was American foreign policy, democratization in the Gulf countries and the Bush administration, 2002 2008. So this is the background of my thesis. In this, I discuss the democracy, the concept of democracy in American foreign policy. I have also on slide 2. I have given its source: democratization of the Gulf countries, role of the United States during the Bush administration, 2002 2008. And I have also provided the URL of my thesis here. It is available on the International Islamic University website. It is also available on the Higher Education Commission website. And I published two papers from it in Turkish Journal of International Affairs Alternatives. And those papers are indexed in the advanced countries also, uh, world famous universities. If I remember, I will share the links with you on your WhatsApp group, and you can also see those papers. Many scholars have written about the American role in democratization. Now, democracy and democratization, these are two different things. Democracy is a phenomenon, democracy is a system, democratization is a process through which democracy spreads. Democracy spreads across time, across the societies, across the countries, and it strengthens over time. Democratization. So, democratization is horizontal as well as vertical. Horizontal democratization means it spreads in more and more societies, more and more countries. Vertical democratization means it becomes stronger and stronger over time in the same society, in the same country. So many scholars have written about the American role in democratization. Among these scholars are Talbot, Rubin, Way, Bunce, Walchik, Brands, Laughlin, Zafim, and others. These scholars discuss how the US played roles in Europe, Latin America, and other parts of the world. You know, Japan was not a democracy before until the Second World War. When it was defeated and America occupied it, then America imposed democracy on Japan, and Japan became a democracy. Similarly, uh, Germany had reverted back to authoritarianism, back to dictatorship. And when America, France, and Britain occupied the Western Germany during the Second World War, they again imposed democracy on West Germany. East Germany was under the USSR, Soviet Union. East Germany became communist. West Germany became democracy. And same is the case with the South Korea and North Korea. South Korea was occupied by America in the Second World War. So America imposed democracy on South Korea. North Korea was occupied by the USSR and China. They imposed communism on North Korea. And this way, Americans and other Western powers, they have promoted democracy through occupation as well. But it is one of the way of democratization or democracy promotion. There are peaceful means of democracy assistance as well, democracy promotion as well. And in the coming sessions, we will discuss the peaceful means of democracy promotion and democracy assistance in other countries. So these scholars discuss how the US played roles in Europe, Latin America, and other parts of the world. Promoting democracy has been a key part of US national interest throughout the 20th century. It is considered a basic value of the United States. Democracy promotion, democracy assistance is considered a basic value of the United States foreign policy. It has shaped much of American foreign policy in the past. Critics of American expansion argue something important. Critics of American expansion, critics of American colonialism, they argue that if America becomes an empire abroad, it will harm democracy both abroad and inside the United States. So the Americans who are in favor of promoting democracy abroad, they are against American imperialism and American colonialism. Why? Because they argue American imperialism and American colonialism will weaken democracy in the world. They will weaken democracy abroad and at home. President John F. Kennedy said in 1962 that America had a historic duty. America had a historic duty. He said America must either watch freedom fail or help freedom succeed. America must either watch freedom fail or help freedom succeed. President Ronald Reagan said something similar. Ronald Reagan said Americans were watchmen on the walls of world freedom. Americans were watchmen on the walls of world freedom. President Carter also pushed for human rights and democracy globally. President Wilson wanted to make the world safe for democracy. Wilsonian idealism is very famous. Wilsonian idealism. Wilson was in favor of human rights. Wilson was in favor of democracy, in favor of freedom for human beings. He was in favor of global peace. He was against international wars. And he worked a lot in this direction. So that is why Wilson is famous for his idealism, Wilsonian idealism. New conservatives later mocked Wilson for this focus on democracy and human rights. New conservatives, they are realists. They believe in power and hegemony and hard power and dominance, all that. So not they are not liberals. They are not idealists. So they mocked Wilson for his focus on democracy and human rights. The US often sees promoting democracy as part of its identity and as part of its mission. Many American leaders justify foreign policy through democratic ideals. Many American leaders justify foreign policy through democratic ideals. Many debates exist inside the United States about promoting democracy abroad. Some argue that pushing democracy can create problems. Some Americans argue that pushing democracy abroad can create problems. Others say long term global peace depends on it. Some Americans say long term global peace depends on democracy because there is a theory of democratic theory of peace. Do you know this? Democratic theory of peace. Have you heard about it? Democratic theory of peace means two democratic countries do not attack each other. Any two democratic countries do not attack each other. They do not fight war. Okay, and a huge data was gathered from all over the world, and all the countries were studied. International wars were studied over decades, and then it was found that consolidated democracies have never attacked each other. They have never fought against each other in war. Particularly, consolidated democracies are in Western Europe, in Scandinavia, in North America, Canada, and the United States, and Australia, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan. These are consolidated democracies. Now, let us also understand what do we mean by consolidated democracy. There are two types of democracies: consolidated democracies and transitionary democracies. Transitionary democracies are transitory, which democracies are in transition. They are moving from authoritarianism or dictatorship to democracy. They are in transition, yet they are not democracies. Some When I discuss this democratic theory of peace, many times students ask a very important question. They ask, Pakistan and India, they have fought wars. Is it a relevant question? Yes, yes. So here I was going to ask this question. It is an important question here, very relevant. So yes, it is a pertinent question here. But here the problem is we need to understand the concept of consolidated democracy. Consolidated democracies are those democracies where elections have been held for 6 times consecutively without break. Change of government has taken place through peaceful means, through elections, 6 times without break. And the researchers, the Democrat scholars, they found in some cases, even the countries where 5 times elections had been held, some of them reverted back to authoritarianism. Some of them. But no country where 6 times elections have been held and the changeful piece of power has taken place, none of them has so far reverted back to authoritarianism. So then the scholars identified those countries as consolidated democracies. In case of Pakistan, Pakistan is not a consolidated democracy. It is a transitory or transitionary democracy. It is in transition. We are trying to move from authoritarianism to democracy. And if we start with 2013, because 2008 elections were held under General Musharraf, so the Democrats don't count them as independent elections. 2013 1, 2018 2, and 2024 3. So far, 3 elections have been consecutively held in Pakistan. Okay, if you go back to 1990s, 1988 1, 1992, 1993 number 3, 1997 4 times. Then again martial law. So 4 times elections were held, and again in those 4 terms, none of the parliament completed its term. This time, this is something good about democracy, future of democracy in Pakistan. The 2013 parliament completed its term, 2018 parliament completed its term, 2024 is in progress. So the third parliament is in the progress. But again, one unfortunate pattern continues. So far, no elected prime minister has ever completed his or her term. That pattern yet continues. till 2026. It is history. No elected prime minister has ever completed his or her term, 5 years term. So that is the negative side of democratic process in Pakistan. But the positive is, it is the third time that Pakistan has witnessed peaceful change of power, some sort of peaceful change. Although problems are there. So similarly, in Indian case, only democracy exists at the institutional level, the state level. You can say there is a constitution, there is a parliament, there are political parties, elections are held. That's it. But at the societal level, almost there's no democracy. You know, there is no political equality among the Indian citizens. Minorities are suffering a lot at the hands of the majority, Hindu majority, and within Hinduism there is a caste system, and low caste Hindus are not considered politically equal. And political equality is the first and foremost condition of democracy. So, in my understanding, although the world does not agree with me, in my understanding, India is not a democracy because its social system, its social structure does not accept political equality. Social equality does not accept. So that is the reason. Even not only this democratic theory has failed, even the nuclear theory of peace has failed here. You know, there is a nuclear theory of peace. That theory explains that two nuclear powers don't attack each other. You know this? That is nuclear theory of peace. And it is fact. Pakistan and India are the only exception. India is the only exception. And in case of Pakistan in 1999, we also attacked the Kargil. So Pakistan and India, they have also failed the nuclear theory of peace. Except these two countries, no nuclear powers, no two nuclear powers have directly fought against each other. They do fight proxy wars in other countries. Soviet Union and America fought in Vietnam, they fought in Korea, uh, and in other places, but they did not fight, and they do not fight. They do not attack each other. They do not fight against each other directly. So South Asia is an interesting case, by the way. We are interesting people, South Asians. But it is not good. It is unfortunate. It is unfortunate. People should move forward. The governments should move forward. The establishments should move forward. We should move toward international peace, regional peace, and global peace. Okay. Other Americans say long term global peace depends on it. And yes, here is the chapter 4. And before starting the chapter 4, we take a 10 minutes break. And